Hello, everyone. This is Dr. Dix. I want to welcome you to the stream. For those of you who are going to be watching the replay, thank you for watching the replay. Um, the title of the video tonight is "Get Your Shit Together," and I'm going to go ahead and share my screen and wait for others to come in, and we will get things started. So I want to welcome everybody. Excuse the hair. I watched it last night and it hadn't did its job back, so I conditioned it. So thank you, we. So y'all, I'm not in the office right now. I am at home. So I did the first stream on Tuesday, and I heard some of the acoustics. I have to work on with the soundproofing and moving some things behind me, those hexagons, and doing some other things. But on the video I have coming out this week, we're making bigger strides with everything. The sound is going to be better. I'm going to be able to do better streams. Just reinvesting. My website is going to get updated, and the video that's going to be released Friday, if the editor gets it to me, I talk a little bit about that. But my website is from last year. I did that on my own, just to have as a placeholder. But I want to give my website and give everything I do a better feel and reinvest into my business. So, I have a lot of loyal subscribers on Instagram, LinkedIn, and tonight I just wanted to talk about getting your shit together. If you're old like me, I'm 39 now. I don't call it old. I'm getting better, have a little bit more grayer. And what made me think of the title, Get Your Shit Together? There is a song from 2004. If y'all, anybody my age, on T.I.'s album called Urban Legend from about 20 years ago, a song with T.I. and Lil' Kim, and it said, Get Your Shit Together. For y'all newbies out there that never saw this, it's him and Lil' Kim. This is the song right here. This is the image. So this shows you, I am, when T.I. first came out in 2001, y'all, I was 2001, I was 17 years old. So that's where the title, that's where, I listen to music. I'll listen to, hey, Brother Michael, and I listen to a lot of things, and that's where the title came from, Get Your Shit Together, the song with him and Lil' Kim. So I listen to a lot of music, and a lot of the music, y'all, I listen to gives me inspiration for the videos. As y'all haven't noticed, these are just, I write all my notes down on things like this. So I'm always writing. So if you want to be better, topics for shows, I have a notebook in here. I don't have it on me right now, but I just write stuff down, and that's how, I come up with many of the topics. Y'all let me know if I'm coming through clear. I should be. Y'all let me, not y'all let me, but that's how I get things together. So yeah, hello, Brandy L. So yeah, so one of the reasons why, as y'all come on in through the doors, the old folks would say, you need to get your shit together. We are living in a time now where artificial intelligence, I posted this on my Instagram and I posted this on my LinkedIn about the AI being your romantic partner. And if you follow me on LinkedIn or you go click on my Instagram, go subscribe to it or go follow me, you'll see the ad, and I'll pull it up quick, like on how the world is moving forward and how crazy things can get. So there are already websites, but I saw this on NBC News, and the young lady, I don't want anybody to copyright strike me, but the young lady, if you go on NBC News, go on YouTube, you can look at the actual news story. It was from Saturday night, and the young lady was stating that she was having a problem. She had a boyfriend, or it didn't work out, and the chatbot is somebody for her to help her with her emotions and all of that. So I just want people to realize, and I was talking with my public relations person today, and this information and this AI stuff is going to get deep. And I watched a little bit of the worldwide developers conference with Apple today, and they brought up the Apple Vision goggles. And I just want people to realize I already see the future of how this is going to go. These goggles, you know, they're going to come out next year. I talk about this in the video coming out that I recorded. I recorded the video all today a couple of hours ago. And I talk a little bit about how Apple continues to evolve and how these virtual reality headsets scan your face and allow somebody that has the same headset for your image to be, you know, there. That's what they were showing today. I don't know how final that's going to be, but that's what Apple was talking about. And I just want people to be aware of, you're going to be able to have a love life, and it's generally artificial intelligence. Oh, my screen looks a little, does my screen, y'all, still look blurry? It should have straightened up. That's why I don't do a lot of streams from the house, y'all. Well, I don't have to now because of the setup I have. Am I coming back in? You know. Okay. All right, looks fine to me. Might be something with you, Weary. I know my internet bandwidth out here in the country versus where I'm at the office is a little different. So, but yeah, I'll continue on. So, y'all, this is the headset that they're going to have. It's about, I didn't know the price of it was $3,500. I'm thinking this is a guesstimation, but it's coming out next year. So how the world is about to go and how things are about to move forward, your relationship, you're going to be able to have a relationship in virtual reality, not with a person. And this is how the future of our world is going. So this is just one aspect. I want everybody just to think deep about how this technology is going to change the world and how it's going to eliminate the need for many jobs. You know, I've talked about that before. You know, it's nothing I need to continuously talk about tonight, but one of the things I want y'all to realize is how the world is going to move forward. And yeah, there's a headset. Yeah, and there the Sims IMVU. Y'all, when I went to I'm glad Aaliyah brought that up. When I went to graduate school, when I went to get my doctorate, I had never heard of Second Life until we were talking about it in a class. It is Second Life. I know somebody said before it's old, but I had never heard of it. And this is virtual reality right here. So you could be whatever you want to be in a whole nother dimension. So if you want to be a pimp, you know, you want to be a gangster, whatever you want to be. And there were people that would create these environments and sell them. So this is virtual reality already 20 years ago that we just didn't know what to call it. And the Sims, as Aaliyah is saying, these are not alternative. That's not the right word to say. These are alternate lives you can live in and nothing could happen. So we already had the technology. It's just we didn't know what to really call it. And everybody likes to have what we call a mask. You know, they say when you meet somebody, you meet their representative, and you don't get to meet the real person till a couple of days later. So this is a perfect representation of it. So I'm just showing y'all an example of virtual reality or doing what you want to do. And think about this company. If they had launched a mobile app, they would have been so far ahead of the game. You know, as I've stated before, I don't know if y'all know the story of RIM. RIM is actually the company Research in Motion that created BlackBerry. And the reason why BlackBerry, y'all, went out of business is because they kept too much of their development proprietary. If you're not familiar with that, that means they would not let anyone else just open sourcely create apps for it. Like Google and Apple allow anyone that can create a mobile app to put it in their marketplace or sell it, and they get a percentage of it. So the reason I'm talking about this is how the world is just moving forward and how you have to get your shit together. Gas is about to go up again. I don't know if y'all saw this in the news, but we'll come back to these layoffs. Saudi Arabia cut the production again by 1 million a day. So, y'all didn't see this? Gas is about to go up a little bit more. So if you haven't bought a plane ticket to go someplace or you're thinking about traveling, I want y'all to think about that right now. And what I'm showing y'all is what happened. And they already cut 1 million a day. So we're going to see what they're cutting now. This impacts all of us because this causes the price of airplane tickets to go up, tires for vehicles. So OPEC said production targets could drop by a further 1.4 billion, 1.4 production I'm thinking that's barrels per day. Pretty sure that's what it stands for. Barrels per day. Yep. From 2024. So they're pretty much. Oh, share will. It should come. You should see my screen. I'm sharing it. If anybody else don't see it, let me know. But I'm sharing it on the screen right now. Could be some technical glitch, but you should see my screen with the OPEC oil prices. So, yeah, barrels per day. So they're cutting crude oil again, which means that fuel prices are going to continue to go up. And everybody right now, I just want to say this, make sure that you are, I'm not going to say hoarding your money, but make sure that you are being very, very financially conscious right now, because even though, and I'm going to talk about this because I have student loans too, even though they raised the debt limit, that pause we had from 3 years ago, if you're like myself and have student loans, now you got to start to pay the piper again. Or if you're some of the people that never paid them, it's about time to start paying them. So the reason I brought this up about the oil production, for everybody that wants to travel all summer and take flights and everything else. So when oil goes up, the price of crude oil goes up, food goes up, everything goes up. So gas right now is about $3 and some change, depending on where you live at. And I just want everybody to remember that tough times could be ahead of us. Tough times could be here, but hold on to your money. Don't do anything real stupid right now. Everybody want to take a trip, and I'm going to create a video on this. I'm going to write it down. Vacations are for people that work. So let me write that down. Vacations are for people. I'm going to create a video on this and talk about it. What we have going on now is people that never put anything in, trying to get something out. And if anyone else can't see my screen, let me know. I didn't see anything else in the chat but one person. Could be some technical glitches tonight. But remember that too. Everybody wants to take a vacation this summer. Everybody wants to do a lot. But there are many people that really don't need to be taking a vacation or doing anything. I know down here in South Carolina, close to where I live at, close to Aiken County, the kids got, I think their last day of school was today, and they're going back to school July 25th. So the element of trying to get students out of school faster is slowly coming. And eventually there's going to be year-round school. To be honest, I don't know why we don't have year-round school, because for the 2.5 to 3 months kids are out of school, how productive are they? We have to ask ourselves, how productive are they during the school year? But I'm just going to be honest and say this, when the summer came back around, there were many chicks that came back pregnant. There were guys that got girls pregnant. Some people went to jail. Unfortunately, some people passed away. It happens during the summer. We don't have any control over that. But I just want people to look at how the education system is even changing. And when you're talking about how the world is advancing, you'll always hear me talk about the world advancing. You'll always hear me talking about producing, making yourself better. So that's where we're at. I know certain school systems even do 4 days a week because they don't have any teachers, and we have so many teachers leaving the school system to where it is troublesome. So we're going to go to the next thing, layoffs. And ESPN, I'm going to keep my opinions to myself. They have a lot of people they need to lay off anyway. ESPN, the network, is not what it used to be. But I can tell you, if ESPN is talking about laying people off, that means something serious is going on. And they usually don't lay people off. But we all have to remember the past 2 to 3 years, we had a lot going on in the world with COVID, and a lot of the money is slowly running out. That's the main thing. So right here, I think Erica talked about this a lot of people talking about they ain't going back to work. Well, Mark Zuckerberg said, Meta says that you got to come back to the office 3 days a week after they cut 21,000 jobs. And the change will take effect on September 5th. Yeah. So employees who are classified as fully remote are not affected. This is why we always talk to many of the people that come on the channel, and also many people that are listening to myself and many of the other people that come on Tech Tuesdays or the other days. This is why you need to have a skill set that is in demand. You can't demand to work from home if you do not have a skill set. And that's just the way it goes. Hold on. I'm going to type in the comments. So I didn't see any movement in the comments, so that's why I was asking. Y'all have any comments? Just post them in there. We'll go through. But a lot of companies, as we stated before, got money from the government and it's ran out. So the big thing right now, student loan debt. If you like me, when they signed it, this is a wake-up call to everybody. So for those of y'all out there that don't have student loans, may the force be with you. For those of y'all that got student loans like myself, may God help us all. Because I was able, going through undergrad, graduate school, and my doctorate program, I was able to put mine in forbearance, and I've started to pay on some of my loans. But now I think the first payment is going to be due in September or October. So the 3-year pause is gone. So this is one of the conditions for them to sign the debt limit. So since March 2020, nobody made student loan payments. But this is the bad thing. If your payment was $800 a month, and I want people to think about this while a lot of people are about to be in a lot of trouble. If your loan payment was $800 a month, and they restart your loan payments and all that interest compounded. What people forgot is in a loan, if you buy a car, I've done this when I was younger. If you buy a car and you're about to get behind on the payments, you know what you can do? You can call the bank and the bank will move the payments to the back of the loan. So basically, instead of having 25 payments, you'll have 26 or 27 because the bank has to get the full interest. I have done this before. And what it looks as if the loan is restarting a little bit, but they're moving the payment to the back. So if anybody out there, you see you're about to get behind on a mortgage or a car payment, before you ignore them and see that you're just going to say, oh, I'm going to ignore them. It's like the IRS. You don't ignore them. You call the mortgage company or you call the bank. If you've had 5 to 6 years of paying consistently on a bill, they'll work with you, because the last thing a bank wants to do is come and get your car or take your house. That's the last thing they want to do. They're already going to have a lot of foreclosures coming up. Regardless of what people say, people cannot afford these houses. When you're talking about $6,000 to $7,000 a month, and there's going to be multi-generations of people living in homes. That's the other big problem we're going to have. You're going to have, say my parents were baby boomers. What's going to happen? Y'all might not be directly affected. Y'all might have family members, but we're going to have a lot of people having to take care of their baby boomer parents that might be 70 and their grandma that could be 85, because I take that back. Your grandma could have had your mom at 20 and now your grandma's 80. 80 is not old. So you're going to have to take care of grandma. Granddaddy could still be alive too. So granddaddy 85 and grandma 80, they both alive. They say they had 2 or 3 kids. You could possibly be, your mom could be taking care of her parents, and you, the person that makes more than them all combined, all of them going to come live in your house. So that's the other problem that we're going to have. Multi-generations of people living in a home. And you know how that's going to happen? When you buy a home now, when certain people buy homes, I'm not Nostradamus or anything, people now are going to have to find homes with 5 or 6 bedrooms. And you're going to ask yourself, why are you and your husband or you and your wife trying to find a house with 6 bedrooms? Because you never know if somebody's grandparents lose their house or don't have no place to stay. It's not even due to bad health. It's because they didn't prepare. So I want people to have real conversations with their parents, and I want people to have conversations with their grandparents and ask them their financial situation, because what's happening now is a lot of these people were secretive with their finances, and now you're finding out they're broke as hell. They don't even have money to put food in the refrigerator. And many of those elderly people are not even eligible for SNAP. If y'all don't know what that is, that's the EBT. It used to be EBT, electronic bank transfer, but now SNAP is supplemental nutritional assistance program. That's your food stamps. And many of the elderly people cannot even get those. If they get it, it may be $30 to $40 a week. And they're living on a fixed income. Between grandma and granddaddy together, they might have $3,000 a month when their bills are $4,000, because they still got to pay for like Medicare, Medicaid. So just make sure, y'all have talks with people, because it's about to get real. And I said that earlier, things are going to get tight. Just make sure you're preparing for the next 6 months. My advice to everybody is have yourself a 6-month program, a 6-month plan. It is June. You need to June should have already been prepared for, not June. The rest of the year should have been prepared for by May. Now, when December comes, you should be prepared for January through July. January through June. That's how you get ahead of the game. And if you want to make yourself very successful, that's how you financially plan. You think about, what am I going to be doing next January 2024 through June 2024. Next year is going to be a big year. Gas is going to get higher, because even there's the political elections, and there's the president race, there's local races. So y'all just make sure that you're keeping your head glued to, as we say, ear glued to the seat or sky, whatever we say. So back to the student loans, but all of this boils into it. You got to take care of multi-generational families, and you have to start paying back your student loans. Somebody could write in the chat, I could see the B word that's about to happen a lot. It starts with a B and ends with a Y. Bankruptcy. A lot of people are about to file bankruptcy. And we're about to Google that, because their student loans have exceeded. You got to remember the cost of living back in May 2020. And there's 2 types of, I remember this in grad school. There's chapter 11, and I think there's chapter 7. So bankruptcy necessarily isn't bad. You're trying to protect your assets, but a lot of people are going to be filing for bankruptcy when these student loans kick in. I can guarantee it is coming. Now, big time companies file bankruptcy, but they make it hard for a regular person. So if y'all got family and friends, or you're thinking about doing it, yeah. So yeah, it's chapter 7 and 11. So I should have went to school to be a bankruptcy attorney. But yeah, a lot of people, when these student loans kick in, you got to think about the interest compound on those loans. Y'all forget the rule of business is that interest never stopped compounding. It compounded on the loan. Because I think a lot of people are thinking, oh, my 5% interest rate that they charge me on my loan, I said, no, Uncle Sam or whatever private company or whatever bank owns your loan is going to get their money from you. Just watch out for it. So here's the bankruptcy, the types of bankruptcy. But y'all have to think about this. If you have a $200,000, say you got a $300,000 house, your loan's $200,000. Now it's either do I pay the $900 a month on my student loans, or do I pay my $1,200 a month mortgage payment? That's $2,100. If you don't have both, what's the next option? When you can exhaust everything out, what you think you're going to do? You are going to file bankruptcy. There's no other way to say it. So y'all could chat in the comments and let me know if y'all never thought about what I'm thinking about, but I just see how everything coming together with the society. If I don't know if you could charge off your student loans. Okay, here we go. Y'all just Googled this, didn't even think about it. Let's see if they'll let me view without all this junk popping up. Okay. So y'all see right here, San Diego student loan is making it easier to file for bankruptcy. I don't know if your student loans get charged off, but if the government owns them, that is a good question. I don't think you can do that, but we're going to find out. Okay, truth is, it is federal and private loans are difficult, but not impossible to ease in bankruptcy. That's because you typically take the extra step of filing an adversary proceeding and prove that repayment can be cause an undue hardship. Well, to think about it, this is what a lot of people are going to seek out. And this is what I could see is going to be a possibility for some people, not all people. So bankruptcy system, you got to think about foreclosures. It's just a lot is compiling on a lot of people. So we will all get those notices in the mail saying it's time for you to pay Uncle Sam back his money. And if you ain't got it, we're going to come and get it or whatever. So we just taking a look, while I'm on here, where I got y'all for the next 20 minutes or less than 20 minutes. I spelled it wrong. My spelling. So we just taking a look at foreclosures. I look at this. That's continuing to climb. So I don't know how accurate this is. 15 states that could be headed. A lot of people where I live at in South Carolina, not where I live at, but a lot of people, y'all are moving to Georgia, South Carolina, and Florida. And they're causing the price of everything else to go up. So New Mexico, delinquency, home vacancy rate, rental rate, New Jersey. If y'all know anything about New Jersey, it's very expensive to live there. Georgia, I was just talking about Georgia, Maryland, Florida. Alabama, very poor in Alabama. So we're just going through a couple of states. Oh, here go my state right here. South Carolina is always something. It's something. And, most of these states, y'all, are listed in the South. Isn't that something? Alabama, Florida, Georgia. Y'all notice most bad things, if it's going to happen, is always going to happen in the South. So that shows me something could be on the brink. But no need to worry. I'm here to help to prepare y'all for that. And I think that the United States, I was watching a CNBC documentary, is band-aiding an issue, something that is going to happen. This is the other news. If y'all saw this past weekend, the Fed chairman said last time, the Fed chairman here, y'all, stated they added 3. He didn't say this, but he said this last time. The Biden administration might as well say, we're going to go to this. think it was 339,000 jobs. No, okay. I don't know if y'all know this, but this is very bad because now the Fed chairman possibly has to raise the rate. And poverty is a business. I got to write that down too. Poverty is a business. Create a video on that. But we have too many people still working and they're adding too many jobs. I continuously think that we are band-aiding an issue, and this is going to come crumbling very bad. So it was better than 190,000 unemployment rate. Y'all notice the unemployment rate was 3.5. I really think the unemployment rate is higher than that. Y'all could put y'all could put in the comments how in the hell the unemployment rate 3.7. Every time I go someplace, every time I travel someplace, everything is full, but everywhere has a now hiring sign. I'm pretty sure a lot of people have stopped looking for work, but something's just not right somewhere. Y'all can chat in the comments and let me know if y'all feel the same. I say this every time we do I say this every time I do a stream. There is no way everybody is working. It's impossible. And this is the same thing they saying, we might have, I think we will have a recession. I don't know how bad it's going to be, but there is no way we can have the output we've had and not this many people working. And artificial intelligence and automation, y'all, cannot replace all these people. We don't have people even working. I think we're being told a lie. That's just my personal belief. There is no way the economy is growing when every time I see a sign, people are not working. So the thing is, how do we prepare? Well, you got to get your shit together. That's one thing. There are websites that teach you how to get your shit together. And I'm going to go through a couple of things right now. First of all, to get your shit together, if you're behind, make sure you're not spending more money than you are taking in. That's the rule of economics. You always spend less than you make. If you make $9,000 a month, you don't go spend $10,000 a month. You just try to spend half. And when I talk to people, I always try to tell them, no matter how much money you make, try to live like you were in college. Try to live off $50,000 a year. If you make $400,000 a year, you don't live a $400,000 lifestyle. You live $100,000 lifestyle. You always want to have something saved up. And a perfect example of how people a couple of years ago, I'm gonna pull this up. Let me see how I search for it. It was about, y'all remember when Donald Trump was in office and they had the government shut down. Do y'all remember people up in DC did not get a paycheck for, I think it was a month or two? It might be was 30 days. So do y'all remember people were going to borrow money for 1 month's paycheck? This is how you know people do not have their stuff together. I'm gonna stop saying the S word. Y'all remember these 5 years? It was 5 years ago, 45 years ago. Donald Trump shut down the government to try to get the wall built. And there were people on TV saying, I have to go buy a matter of fact, I'll search for it. I'll show y'all. People had to borrow money. So I don't know if they got back pay or whatnot, but I want y'all to think about this. If you work for the federal government for 30 plus years, 20 something years, and you had to take out and miss one paycheck, that showed a lot of us you didn't have any money saved up. I know the average American doesn't have enough money to last for, I think it's the average American only has about $1,000 in their bank account, but this is a reason how people didn't have their life together. I want everybody to think about this, the people listening and the people listening to this replay. If your bank messed up on your paycheck, say, because it's all digital and it's all computerized, if they miss your paycheck up and say, hey, you get paid once a month. I work for the government contractor, y'all. We get paid once a month. If they say, hey, Patrick, you were supposed to get paid June 1st. Due to us running the payroll and having to get it back out, you're going to get paid in 2 weeks from now. Can you afford to wait 14 days for your paycheck? I'm like, I don't have a problem with it. Do y'all know how many people out there will be panicking? Do y'all know there are people that turn down jobs because they don't get paid every week or every 2 weeks? I have heard that from people to say, how y'all work for the government and y'all only get paid once a month? I say, because you take the lump sum of money and you stretch it out, or you find side hustles to help you out. But yes, there are certain people that will not take jobs because they don't get paid every month. Either you get paid semi-monthly, you get paid monthly, or every week. Y'all let me know. I don't know. There are certain places that still pay every week, but what people don't realize with payroll is, for payroll to do payroll every week, that is very labor intensive. Every 2 weeks is not as bad. And people don't think about it. I said, do you know what people have to go through for you to get paid every week? I worked at Walmart in college, and I only got paid twice a month. My paycheck was, let me calculate it for y'all, because I was only there part-time. Times 30. Oh, that wasn't no money. 7. I got paid. I started at Walmart. I got $8 an hour. Yep. And my paycheck would be 30 hours. I think I got paid like $250 every 2 weeks. I had to pay car insurance and I had to put gas in my little Altima. But yeah. So I got paid $8 an hour. So it was about $320. You know, I didn't have any dependents. I still don't. And they took a lot of my money out. But that goes to show you I was prepared for everything possible, because I had a little bit of money saved up. And I'll just be honest, y'all. The person I was in 2010 and 9, the person I was at 22 to 30 years old, I say 22 to 35 is not the 39-year-old person. I've grown up, and the responsibilities I have now, I could not have handled about 7 years ago. You have to be mentally tough. I have a lot that I do. I have a lot of people that I talk to. I have to make sure things are paid and responsibility wise. So, but yeah, I just want people to think about that. That was one way people didn't have their shit together. Secondly, you hanging around negative people. If you're the only successful person around, if there's 5 people and you're the only successful person out 5 people, that'd be 5. You're out of 5 people, there's 4 unsuccessful people, and you're the only successful person. You need to get from around there. You need to be challenged more. And if you are that kind of person, please find people that stimulate your mind, because it is boring. Think about your conversations. Just think about what are y'all gonna be talking about? Like, we're talking about like how the economy is about to go. They're gonna say, well, I don't really know what to do today. You're like, you're worrying about the wrong stuff, or they're worrying about love and hip hop, or they're worrying about what's going on in the shade room or World Star. That's another way. Stop hanging around negative people. Thirdly, educate yourself. And I'm gonna say this, and it's probably gonna make people mad. Educating yourself is not the white man's game to hold you down. Please, people, because all people say, I get tired of people saying that crap. Man, you playing the man's game, but you living on Section 8. You know, I counter those arguments with people to say, you need to educate yourself. Blue collar, white collar, get a trade, get a certificate. I wouldn't go in all that debt you in, Patrick, to educate myself. And the first thing I say to those folks, I don't want to be a bum like you. Most people are bums. And I'm being dead honest. If you got negative family members, stay from around your negative family members. You, in this world we're going in, it is going to take everything you have to stay ahead. That's why you got to be around positive people, people that challenge you. You got to hang around people to where if you call them, they help uplift you and find solutions to problems. Y'all bounce ideas off one another. And too many people hang around people that don't even challenge them. Your daily routine is work, drink, sex, bitch about your job. Work, drink, sex, bitch about your job. That's all you do. People do that for 20 and 25 years. I know people that have done that. And you start doing that at 18, now you're 40. And I'll be 40 next year. And I tell everybody, for a man, 40 years is a pivotal time in your life. The 4-0. You know, I'm not a woman, so I cannot speak for it, but I'll find women and ask them this. But 40 is a pivotal time in a man's life. Now you 10 years from being 50. Usually you've been out of high school about 22 years, 20, if you graduate 17, 22, 23 years. In 22 to 23 years, what do you have? And a lot of men, you know, just have kids. They got like hundreds of women they slept with, and they don't have anything to show for it. So that's not really doing anything productive in your life. And I know people get offended by that, but we have to start to hold people accountable. The only way people are going to get better if you talk to them. I talk to people the same way I talk on the internet. Y'all, people that know me, this is who I am, and I do not sugarcoat it. This is what it is. Men, women, I don't care what race or gender you are. Life comes for everybody. So how it's going to be a trying time and how you're going to have to continue to move forward, you're going to have to be around very positive people. Your family, your mama, your daddy, your sister, your brother, whoever it is. You really sometimes have to get around from people and be your own champion. I'm gonna tell y'all, a lot of y'all gonna find yourselves, you know, people listening to the replay, people that are listening now, you're gonna find yourself being your own cheerleader, and there's nothing wrong with it. Everybody you know does not want to see you successful. Y'all ever notice if you stop, and I recommend to stop posting all of your successes in life online. Go celebrate it by taking a trip out the country, or go buy something. And don't let everybody come to. That's another thing too. When people buy houses, you have a housewarming gift. I say, you know how much bad energy come from people. You know, when y'all buying these houses, people don't want to see you successful. People want to cut your head off like John the Baptist and serve it on a platter. And everybody think everybody's so happy for them. Most people are miserable. And it's 42 minutes. I'm gonna just talk a little bit more. You know, I like to keep it slow, but we're gonna look that up. Most people are miserable. So for 2021, oh, they got a picture of an ugly ass fly. I just was talking about jealous people. Y'all, there are people in your circle now. Y'all, this is true. Miserable people are usually very angry. They may smile and laugh on the surface, but their inside are filled with resentment and unresolved securities. They're very jealous, and they should be. They're very, y'all know, now this could be successful people. I'm a boring person, but you know, I have a lot going on. Sometimes boring is good. Okay. So they clarified it here. I found out that miserable people have miserable lives. Y'all, Erica has talked about this on her streams. They usually lead a dull, boring, and unadventurous life. They have a mundane existence. They're just like a robot. No fun, no possibility. When you talk to them, they're always talking about nothing sad, nothing good, not sad. They're always talking about depressing stuff. They'll never talk about, man, it was a pretty day, I'm tired of the rain. They never talked about, like, man, I'm thinking about doing something adventurous. They love to pick fights. These could be characteristics of you. Hopefully they're not. Or family members, friends, your significant other. They love to make other people miserable. Always notice if you got good news, miserable people are like, oh, man, nobody trying to hear about that. I don't hang around miserable people. I mostly hang around myself because it gives me time. It gives me time to process my thoughts and to become a better person. You're going to find most of the people, y'all, that support you are not even blood tied to you. There are people that don't even look like you. And there are people, friends that you're going to meet. There's an old saying, you're going to be able to count the true people in your life on one hand. And if y'all don't believe me, ask people my age or older. You might meet 5 true friends in your whole life. Hell, you're lucky. You know that thing about a soulmate. You lucky if you get somebody you could be married to 5 or 10 years these days. So that's a whole nother conversation. But I just want people to realize, don't have expectations, but be realistic about it. If you find what you're looking for, make sure that you hold on to it. But I'm just telling y'all, be realistic. Miserable people, they blame others and play the victim. We have a lot of that going on. And they're seldom wrong. No accountability. That sums that up. They don't see the need to change anything. This is the thing. If a process worked, you will be ahead. It's just like people that commit crimes and scam people. The same amount of money, I was looking, I think it was 2 rappers or 2 female rappers or whoever. Do y'all know, with a good hustle, if you scam people out of $250,000, do you realize you can make that in about 3 to 4 years? The same money you scam people out. I don't think people think about it like that. Dope dealers. I made $2 million selling dope. Do you know if you work for about 5 to 10 years straight and you make $250,000? Let's do the math. I like to be accurate. $250,000 times 5 years is $1.2 million. So the same amount of money a drug dealer made, let's say they made 1.5, you can make that in 7 years on $250,000 every year, and you doing it legally. They get involved in other people's lives. Misery loves company, and they love to be around other people. This is a key one. They are envious of your success. To the young people I talk to and to the older people I talk to, stop telling people all of your damn business. Stop showing on Instagram. Stop showing on LinkedIn. Stop showing on Facebook. Most of the people hate to see you. And I need people to get that through their head. Most people do not like to see successful people because they can't do it. Why not you? Because while you were eating chips on the sofa, some of us were working hard. This is what's going to be key during the pandemic. People like myself that thought of ideas to ways to reinvent themselves or to really push their life into the next, I'm not going to say atmosphere, to the next arena are really, really going to thrive. Y'all, I can tell y'all from experience, where I'm at today is because I planned and worked hard 2 to 3 years ago. And I'm a visionary. I look forward and I see how the market's going to be. And, I look at how my parents did things, and I look at how I'm refining my own processes. I'm very confident in myself. I don't mind taking a risk. I take a risk every time I create a video. I take a risk every time I'm doing a live stream. I may say the wrong thing, but the message is correct. And I'm getting better at everything. Most people will be afraid to sit in front of a camera and talk. It doesn't bother me when I do interviews, PBS news stations. It's nervous. I still sweat sometimes. But after what they ask, and, my PR team can prepare me the best that they can, but it comes down to me. And I know most people couldn't get up there and do that. So that's why I encourage people. I make mistakes all the time. I've done terrible interviews y'all seen. Y'all think they were good, but when we look at them, they're horrible. And because I'm not saying what I need to say, I'm not being very confident. And now I've reached the threshold where I know what to say. I know how to regurgitate it. I know what to do. So yes. But remember, most people do not want to see you be successful. Relationships, they don't want to see nobody be in a relationship. They don't want to see you be married and have kids. They don't want to see you with a new job. That's why as you go up the success ladder, and I've heard people mention this when I was younger, you have to get rid of certain friends. If you're driving a $400,000 car. If you're driving an $80,000 car and you're able to afford it, you got to find other people that drive $80,000 cars. People wouldn't understand what it takes to, the mindset. You got to find like-minded people. People are selfish. Stay away from unhappy people. They're very selfish. They can't stand change. We all know a lot of people like that. They can't stand to see anything change. And they hate change. Miserable people hate anything new or different. Y'all ever just been around people that are miserable and you feel their energy and it's just tactful? It's just distasteful. and they have nothing good to say. They're miserable. I've been around people that are miserable, and I never want to go around them again. It's somebody that is very good to be around. They always have sunshine. It's like, I'm not gonna say a ray of sunshine, but they're pleasant, male or female. It's good to talk to them. You know, y'all laugh, y'all joke, but y'all talk about serious things. Those are the people you want to be around. They are in denial about their circumstances in life. Most people create their own circumstances, y'all. Yeah, they are prisoners. And lastly, well, that was the last one. So y'all let me know in the comments what y'all think about that. But most people are unhappy. And that's part of getting your life together. If you are unhappy, seek out a therapist, find some way to talk to somebody. Life happens to all of us. My mom died 7 years ago. My dad this month was 20 years ago. I did not blame the world for it. I did not go on a tangent and try to shoot people or be mad and say, everybody else got a mom and dad. Well, I ain't got one. I didn't walk around all miserable and stuff, feeling like I was denied. I know everything is part of a process. And I know, they passed and I had to live with it and, grieve about it. But I just want people to think about it. You can't be mad at the world. That's a part of getting your life together. And lastly, seek out a therapist. I went to therapy. I still go. I only go twice a year now. Therapy is one of the biggest things I'm an advocate for. Therapy is one of the best things I've ever done with my life. I started going in 2020 and I still see the same therapist. I realized there were things I was doing wrong in a relationship, and life as a whole has gotten better for me because I am more open and I'm a better person now. So I recommend therapy. Find someone that won't tell you what you want to hear, but somebody that will hold you accountable. Because one of the things is people want to find a therapist that actually tells them what they want to hear. So lastly, why are young people so miserable? I'm gonna talk about this and I'm gonna go. I have met so many young people that are miserable when you have the world ahead of you. I don't know why they're miserable. This doesn't list why, but we're going to just talk about it generally. Why are young kids so miserable? You can pick up a phone and order pizza, a car, clothes. You could order, let me see how I put this. The nightlife, as we'll call it. You know what we mean by that, on your phone. But young people are so miserable. And I don't know why. You have everything here for you. And I think social media has something to do with it. But there are just so many people that are miserable, especially young people. Yep, I think social media puts a lot of these young kids and these young girls and young boys to, look a certain way and puts them to get these BBLs. Y'all know we have people dying left and right from going under the knife. For not needed surgery, for surgery to try not to fix something, to instead of going to the gym, trying to shortchange the game. I mean, I don't know what else to tell people, but I thank God every day I'm able to wake up, y'all, and put one foot ahead of the other. That's what the old folks say. And anytime I wake up, I get one more day to do it right. So I have been online for 53 minutes. I see my count has went up. I'm going to go through a couple of comments and we're going to call it a night. So Aaliyah S. Hi. We respect. Ola, Brandy. Screen looks fine. It's crazy how times have changed. I used to escape on Sims or IVU. Now there's a headset. Yep. Yeah, Leah, there's a headset coming. Yeah, BlackBerry. I'll talk about this for Professor Black Ops. I have a BlackBerry Priv. I need to see if it'll still work. I got it because of the security when I was on Verizon, just because the BlackBerry Priv would run the Android. I think it was Cupcake. I can't remember the operating system. I know it would run Android, but the security was top notch. And banks in Charlotte have started selling off the uptown properties. Everything is high right now. And lastly, A large amount of state and county employees of certain states get paid once a month. Yes, Ghost Masterson. Yep, that is true. I get paid once a month. You know, for the teaching gig, sometimes I get paid after the class ends. I also get paid every other week. It depends on the school. Sometimes they don't pay you till the class is up. They pay you halfway through. So again, y'all, I just wanted to talk tonight about getting your shit together, which is the title of the video, and how you need to, and regular life stuff going on. So it's been 55 minutes. I'm glad I was able to hold everybody's attention. Next stream might be at my home or at the office. I don't know. But I will be doing streams, you know, now that we're working through some things. So I look forward to y'all seeing the updated changes. And like, share, and subscribe to the channel. And I will see y'all on the next one. And have yourselves a great evening. Peace.